Now at 8 o'clock, graffiti removal on Portland freeways on the back burner, at least until state lawmakers find more money for ODOT. We're also going to hear from the head of one of the area's biggest companies who says they actually volunteered to clean up this mess on their own and were shot down.
Then later, a Washington County Sheriff's deputy who was shot while serving an eviction notice 2 years ago is now suing the shooter's apartment complex. Why he says the owners were negligent and put him in harm's way.
We're also talking about the annual KGW school supply drive this morning. We know local teachers and students getting ready to go back to school. I mean, pretty soon anyway. It's hard to deliver that news, kids. School starts in about 3 weeks, but of course, before they get back to the classroom, we need to help them out with those supplies. How you can help coming up as the 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise kicks off right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. It is 8 o'clock. The morning is moving right along.
Yeah.
And it does so with the help of those two guys, Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill, handling traffic and weather for us. Rodney, what you got?
Thank you, Drew. We have a beautiful day is what we have. There's no storm chance anywhere in our state today. So you folks in Madras and Bend and out east to Baker City will see dry, mostly sunny weather. We are tracking clouds offshore with a system that at this point is likely to bring us rain later tonight into your Wednesday morning. Could be a rainy morning commute, at least for part of it. More on that coming up. Here we are right now, no marine push. So we're getting sun at the beach as well. Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 52 degrees is the number there. Downtown Portland, a beautiful sunny start. We are now at 61. Again, with the added sun compared to the last couple of days, we'll be warmer. 70 at noon. I have us getting up to 80 degrees for a high temperature. Any problems out there, Chris?
Oh, well, there's always problems. Come on, it keeps me in business, right? Okay, so on a serious note, TriMet still having some delays because of a disruption to the Max Green line over on the east side. So they're using shuttles to serve stops between Main and Clackamas Town Center. TriMet reported earlier that they had a signal issue near southeast Flavel. So that'll add some time to your commute there. On the west side, ODOT doing chip sealing today. That's where they put down like a asphalt tar slurry to repair the road surface on Cornelius Pass Road. So just be aware they're using flaggers to direct single lane traffic on Cornelius Pass, Oregon 127, north of Germantown Road throughout the day today. That will create some delays to your commute. Over on the west side, we've got the sun right in the driver's face. That's adding to some of the slowing. There's the drive over the Glen Jackson Bridge, by the way. Yeah, we get the normal slow spots out there, but nothing, or I should say no unusual slowing at this point, guys. Back to you.
All right, Chris, we start our top story here at 8 o'clock with two things we know already. Graffiti along the freeway and covering highway signs has been a problem here in Portland for years, and the Oregon Department of Transportation is responsible for cleaning it up.
But after state lawmakers failed to pass a transportation bill during the last legislative session, ODOT says it doesn't have the money to take care of the mess. So Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live on I-84 in Portland from Drive 8. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, look, all morning long we've been driving along Portland interstates I-5, I-84, I-205. We've seen some of that graffiti, but not as much as we've seen in the past. That's really a testament to the job ODOT has done prior to losing this funding. And now, frankly, they tell us that it's just near the bottom of their priority list going forward because it's just not as important as things like potholes and public safety, of course. Without funding from that transportation package, an ODOT spokesperson says they'll have to lay off hundreds of people. Some of the richest people in town say they have tried to help with graffiti cleanup, but they say those efforts have been rebuffed. Columbia Sportswear CEO Tim Boyle says he did chip in $200 grand to clean up I-405, that is. He says Nike plopped down some cash too, and Boyle says volunteers are eager to clean up interstates, but ODOT turned them down.
Know of several institutions that are prepared to volunteer to clean up and remove graffiti, and they've not been allowed to do so by ODOT.
So look, we all know this, but taggers have long graffitied signs along Portland interstates, sometimes even blocking out words. We saw that this morning as well along I-205. An ODOT spokesperson says generally crews take great efforts to keep interstates clean. Again, most of the signs around town right now are clean, but they're running out of that money after that $14 billion transportation bill didn't pass. A state legislative special session is scheduled to address the problem, but that doesn't happen until the end of the month. limiting what ODOT can do until then.
With the end of the biennium and no change in our budget, we're having to pare back everything immediately.
So in the interim, once again, that tagging is still in flux of whether or not ODOT's going to be able to deal with it, especially as they're prioritizing things like addressing potholes, public safety when you have a car accident as well, moving the graffiti cleanup to the back of the list. So guys, we will stay tuned, of course, over the next month as that special session does happen, beginning on August 29th, to see if there is some money allocated to graffiti cleanup. Drew, China.
All right, we're going to leave Thomas Schultz and the local freeway behind for now to talk about Election Day, primary Election Day in the state of Washington. That means our viewers in Southwest Washington, all you viewers in Clark, Cowlitz, and Skamania counties, you have to have your ballots postmarked by today in order to count, and you can also take your ballot to a drop box by 8 o'clock tonight in order for it to count. If you want more information about what's at stake where you live, you can check out your local county website.
In Washington County, a certified nursing assistant has been arrested for allegedly stealing a patient's credit card and using it on a shopping spree. A grand jury indicted Jeanette Collins on multiple charges, including criminal mistreatment and identity theft. Now, we're showing you her photo because they believe she may have other victims. Police say Collins worked at the OHSU Hillsborough Medical Center.
Tualatin police are asking for help to find this woman, 61-year-old Leanne McNerney, who was last seen 2 weeks ago in Wilsonville near Southwest Parkway Avenue. Police consider her in danger because she has cognitive and medical issues. We know she's 5'4", about 110 pounds with blonde hair and brown eyes. She also has a prosthetic left leg and uses crutches when she's not wearing that prosthetic. So anyone with information on where she may be should contact Tualatin police.
A Multnomah County jury has found a man guilty of criminally negligent homicide in a crash that killed a young boy 2 years ago. On July 8, 2023, Dupree Smith ran a red light while going more than 80 miles per hour before slamming into a car. The 11-year-old in that car died from his injuries. Smith said that he was speeding because he had been shot and was trying to get to the hospital. A sentencing date has not been scheduled yet.
Clackamas County health officials are letting people know about a bat that tested positive for rabies. So they say someone who came into contact with that bat at a home in Malala is getting treatment at this point. The bat, meanwhile, was euthanized. Health officials say about 8% of bats that get tested have rabies. They recommend vaccinating your pets, sealing off any openings in your home, and the easiest tip of all is to simply avoid having any contact with bats. They say bats seen during daylight hours are even more likely to have rabies. Didn't know that about the bats, but that makes sense, China and Rod.
So, Drew, yeah, avoid the bats, Drew. And China, if you didn't know that, don't play with them.
I usually take my breaks in a cave, so that's great.
Are you two through with the bat jokes?
Rain tomorrow morning. This is Futurecast. I've got it at about 8:30 tomorrow morning. And this is, if correct, fairly widespread rain. I mean, probably broken up into some bit of a showery activity, but there's certainly a little wave of a cool front coming in. And the model's like us getting wet early through mid-morning tomorrow, which times out perfectly for a wet morning commute. So we have the impact alert up to remind you to plan ahead for what could be a messy start to your day tomorrow morning. I don't think nothing stormy in here, just but, I mean, if it's going to rain, let's get some beneficial soaking rain. That's a possibility. All right, we're zoomed in to Timberline. We're looking off of the east slope of the mountain, it looks like. You can see the beautiful sunshine, some contrails, it looks like, up there overhead. 49 is the temperature at 6,000 feet. The Shalem Tasting Room camera in Sherwood showing beautiful sunshine illuminating over the valley, 58 degrees. This will be a sunnier day, and because of that, a warmer day than what we've seen the last couple. It was only 73 yesterday. So if we had 80 today, you'll definitely feel that difference. We are, well, we're now 16 Gresham, 16 Westland, 61 up in Vancouver. Otherwise, we're still holding in the 50s, 56 up in Battleground, Salem and Kaiser each, 58 degrees. We're starting to warm up, of course, in the 8 o'clock hour this morning. No storm chance out east today. We're just looking at beautiful sunshine, and nobody's going to be 90s. So everybody's pretty comfortable today. 80 to 85 is the average range across all of our state and up into Vancouver. 77 in Kelso. The coast clouds over later today, and we'll probably see increasing clouds later today into the valley as well. So 80, a nice Tuesday. There's a lingering shower threat tomorrow afternoon, but probably 90% of the rain we get will be in the morning hours. That's why we have the impact alert up for the AM hours tomorrow. We're dry on Thursday. We're warming up into the weekend. Could we be flirting with 100 or 101 next Monday? It's at least a possibility. Obviously, an impact alert for that hot weather. Chris?
Rod, thank you for that. To pick it up with a traffic alert over on the west side. 217 southbound, little fender bender action on the shoulder here near Denny. It looks like it's just over there on the right-hand side of your screen. Traffic a little slow getting around that, about 12 to 15 miles an hour. Let's take you up to Cornelius Pass Road. A reminder that chip sealing is ongoing today. They're repairing the deck, the road surface there with the mixture of the asphalt and the tar and all that. And the traffic impact is that they're going to alternate a single lane of traffic through the area. It's just north of Germantown Road for about 2 miles. So just be aware of that. That will create some slowing there. Your drive in from the west side right now about 25 minutes from Hillsborough. So that's an improvement. I-5 from Clark County, the main stem here looking a little bit better. We're still a little slow getting off the SR 500 ramp, and right now we're looking at 25 minutes to get you from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. Drew?
Thank you, Chris. Coming up next here on Sunrise, a look inside the annual KGW School Supply Drive. That's right after this.
The Texas House Democratic holdout making waves all the way in Washington. I'm Jay Gray. We'll explain coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
The KGW School Supply Drive is here, and before classes kick off, we're hearing from teachers about what your donations mean to them.
I wanted to see before I say KGW's Alma McCarty has more.
I'm already starting to get excited about it.
Across Multnomah County,
I'm going to loop up with my kindergartners from last year, so that'll be really fun.
educators prepare to wind down summer fun and gear up for the new school year.
You can do a lot with just the basics.
The basics being essential school supplies.
Paper, pencils. I work with high school students. They're particular about what kind of pencils. So they like mechanical pencils versus the old number 2s.
Both Jay Holman, a David Douglas High special education teacher, and Maria Peters, a Wilkes Elementary School teacher, have spent 25 years in the classroom. And in those 25 years, they've both seen the need increase.
Higher levels of people who are in need of the basics in life, like food, shelter, safety. And so oftentimes school supplies are going to be secondary to putting a meal on the table.
So it's really helpful for us to be like, don't worry about it. We got the supplies. You can, do what you need, and we got the kids covered at school.
For Jay's students, backpacks go a long way.
The kids like to be portable. They like to put the Chromebooks in their backpacks as opposed to textbooks in the past when I was in school. So that's the biggest need. So nothing brings the kids more joy than getting a brand new backpack.
Same goes for Maria's students in the Reynolds district.
It's really neat to pull out one from the closet and be like, which one do you want, green or red? And then they are really excited about that.
Over the course of the school year, both educators will visit the Schoolhouse Supplies free store, reducing their out-of-pocket costs and keeping their students on track.
The districts that are in need, that don't have the parent support that other districts have, we just really lean on them more.
The culmination of all our efforts is seeing them get their diplomas. When they have the supplies, that's what gets them crossing that finish line.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Pop quiz for China.
Yeah.
Name 3 school supplies that are really needed by local kids and teachers.
Pencils.
Good one.
Paper.
Good one.
Crayons?
Crayons. Yeah.
Crayon.
Great
Oh,
one.
you're a crayon person.
What do you say?
Crayons?
Crayons.
Crayons.
It's that. Rod, is crayons right? No, it's crayon. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Just making sure.
Stupid.
Oh, you guys say it correct? All right, anyways, if you'd like to help out, here's a couple of ways you can do so. You can drop off school supplies at any local On Point Community Credit Union branch or any Rick's Custom Fencing location. Also, keep in mind this week, On Point is giving $5 to the drive every time someone donates just $1 to the drive at a local branch. So we thank On Point for stepping up this year, On Point Community Credit Union, of course, as well as Rick's Custom Fencing and Safeway. Great partners in our KGW School Supply Drive.
All right, now let's talk about the backpack.
Hey, I'm going to be your model for that.
Drew Carney and model are two things that don't belong in the
come
sentence.
on.
But we'll go. There you go. We're going to talk about the backpack because it's the perfect way. Show it, angles, 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 angles. It's the perfect way to carry those school supplies like crayons.
But I'll tell you, when you don't wear them the right way, improperly worn backpacks can lead to discomfort, perhaps even soreness for some students. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips on how to prevent the school backpack pain. Jeez Louise.
First, there are binders, notebooks, paper, pencils, and all the things students stuff into their backpacks. It can make the school day feel a little heavy.
Backpacks, as long as they're used properly, they should never cause any sort of pain or discomfort.
Dr. Caroline Weingart with Nationwide Children's Hospital says when backpacks aren't properly used, it can lead to neck, shoulder, or back pain. The first way to prevent it is by choosing the right backpack. She says it should have 2 wide padded shoulder straps and a padded back. A waist or chest strap can also help with heavy loads. Next, pack it properly.
The heaviest items should be in the backpack, packed closest to the back, and then the more lighter items towards the outside of the back. That helps the weight to be distributed in a way that it's easiest for the child to carry.
Weingart says the backpack should never be heavier than 15% of the child's body weight. So for example, a 100-pound child shouldn't be carrying a bag that weighs more than 15 pounds. And finally, focus on how your child is carrying their backpack.
Make sure that they're using both straps and not just one.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
I've never seen a heavier backpack than the one my boys carried, like their freshman year of high school. They had like every book that was ever given to them in the history of school in that. I didn't know how the backpack carried.
They don't have a locker?
They said it was too much of a pain in the neck. The school was so wide and big, and they said it was too much of a pain in the neck to go back and forth to the locker. So they threw everything in that backpack. I swear they probably do have, in all seriousness, they probably have some back issues because of that backpack. Carrying that around for 6 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. I was actually surprised by how heavy that backpack was. That's all I'm saying. Do you want me to say, Rod, it's time for the weather?
Please do that.
Okay, Rod, it's time for the weather.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining me in this conversation. Appreciate it.
I was just going through our maps, and I thought I'd show you this one. This is our smoke model, and it doesn't really have anything to do with us locally. Although, if you stop and think about it, we're doing pretty well, right? It's August. We only have a couple of large wildfires burning in Oregon. They're both in grasslands out near the Idaho border. We haven't had any really noticeable smoke in Portland really this entire summer, and the smoke model still shows nothing really notable in our 2 states. That's terrific news. There is gathering smoky concerns down in Southern California today. Denver's got some decent smoke. It's been making the news back east that fires burning up in Canada at times have been sweeping smoke down across the upper Midwest. Today that's especially noticeable over in the Great Lakes and then out toward New England and down into New York State. So there are definitely areas of noticeable wildfire smoke, just nothing here at home. As we continue to see right now, knock on wood, kind of a lull in the fire activity across our 2 states overall. And the rain coming in tonight and tomorrow will do what? It will help, right? Yeah, absolutely. You can see the weather system offshore. Going to bring in a cool front tomorrow morning. Weather models give us all dry weather during the day today. No thunderstorm chance out east. You folks will just be mostly sunny in central and eastern areas. Increasing clouds at the coast later this afternoon into the evening. And then overnight into tomorrow morning, here comes the wave of rain that looks to be likely at this point. Initially, more in Portland, up in Longview in the morning. This is 8:30 in the morning. This is during the heart of the commute. Raining in Longview for a while, raining at the coast for a while. Showers from Portland down into Salem, perhaps enough that the roads are pretty soaked and we have some slowing for the morning commute. Weather models like us getting in the valley about 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain out of all that coming in tomorrow morning. So for today, enjoy it. Beautiful sunshine. We get up to about 80. The wet start tomorrow during the commute, the impact alert. We're still in the 70s on Thursday, but dry, and then 80s on Friday. And then here we go, 94 Sunday, could be nearing 100 on Monday, could be well up into the 90s, near 100 again on Tuesday, and then perhaps dropping the heat Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Here's Chris.
Hey, thanks for that, Rod. Hey, let's take you to the east side of Vancouver on the Ellsworth overpass atop SR 14. Eric Patterson, let's try that again. Photojournalist Eric Patterson's on the scene here. WashDOT's got that down to one alternating lane, so just be aware if that's part of your commute, getting on or off of SR 14 at Ellsworth along that overpass. They're doing some work to seal the bridge there, so that'll create some local slowing throughout the day today. As you can see, pans around, and there they are. The crews are out, the cones are out, and surely the slowing will follow. All right, the slow stuff is still on the freeways. I-5 is still pretty heavy from SR 500. The ramp from SR 500 specifically to I-5 South is still backed up. The end of the line, so to speak, has gotten just a little bit farther south. Elsewhere on the drive times, we're still up a bit, getting in from Hillsborough. Right now, that's averaging just shy of 30 minutes from Brookwood Parkway to downtown. China.
Chris, still ahead on Sunrise, 4 wildfires combined into a massive inferno that's ripping through central California. The latest on the Gifford fire as it's threatening hundreds of homes and forces ranchers to flee.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
It's day 2 of a showdown in Texas. Democratic lawmakers walked out of a special session to block a Republican redistricting plan backed by President Donald Trump ahead of next year's midterms. Now, Democratic governors in blue states say that they're ready to join the fight. NBC's Dre Gray has the latest.
It's Texas Hold'em or maybe a game of chicken. To this point, though, neither side has flinched with control of Congress, and many say the path of President Trump's final 2 years in office hanging on what happens next.
Members, a quorum is not present.
Texas Democrats continuing their holdout. Dozens of state lawmakers leaving the House chamber and the state, effectively blocking a vote on a Republican congressional redistricting plan that could create up to 5 new GOP seats and help the party maintain control of the U.S. House in the 2026 midterm elections.
Their attempts to disenfranchise Texans is the tool they're using is a racist, gerrymandered map. And Governor Abbott is doing this in submission to Donald Trump.
Texas Republicans pushing back.
This map was politically based, and that's totally legal, totally allowed, and totally fair.
Governor Greg Abbott threatening to expel the more than 50 absent lawmakers from office while ordering state troopers to find and arrest them.
I will immediately sign the warrants for the civil arrest of the members who have said they will not be here.
Texas may be the spark point, but clearly this showdown is just the start of a national battle for political power.
This is a war. We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
Governors in a handful of blue states, including New York, Illinois, and California, already working on potential redistricting plans to offset GOP efforts. Governor Gavin Newsom, a potential presidential candidate, posting on social media, "Buckle up, Donald Trump. California is about to get a whole lot bluer thanks to you." Blue or red, the map to the midterm elections, unclear and contentious, more than a year before voters head to the polls. Now, many of the absent lawmakers say they've packed enough clothes to be gone for 3 weeks. Republicans insist they aren't stopping this vote, just delaying it. By law, a special session in Texas can only last 30 days, which means the current session must end by August 19th. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
Now to your morning rush. A massive wildfire is tearing through Central California, burning more than 72,000 acres near Santa Barbara. The Gifford fire has injured 3 people, destroyed brushland, and is threatening hundreds of homes. It started from at least 4 smaller fires and is spreading fast in steep terrain. More than 1,000 firefighters are currently battling the flames. The NCAA says March Madness will not be expanding next year. The tournament field will stay at 68 teams for both men and women. League officials say talks about expanding to 72 or 76 teams will continue, but any changes wouldn't happen before 2027. And check this out, crazy video from Russia of a volcano erupting for the first time in hundreds of years. Take a look at your screen here. This happened just days after last week's 8.8 magnitude earthquake in that same region. The eruption sending a column of ash more than 3 miles into the sky. And that's your morning rush. Still ahead on Sunrise here, why a Washington County deputy who was shot 7 times while serving an eviction notice is suing the apartment complex where it happened. Plus, Alaska Airlines adding several new direct flights across the Pacific Northwest, where they're headed next at 8:30.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. Police arrested a certified nursing assistant for allegedly stealing a patient's credit card and using it on a shopping spree. A grand jury indicted Jeanette Collins on multiple charges, including criminal mistreatment and identity theft. We're showing you her photo here because investigators believe that she may have other victims. Police say Collins worked at OHSU's Hillsborough Medical Center. All right, Rod Hill, what do you have for us in the weather center?
Well, we have a beautiful day. No thunderstorm threat today anywhere in Oregon. Everybody's going to basically have mostly sunny skies into the afternoon hours. Here's our state capital. Beautiful, mostly sunny start, 58 degrees, light winds. Deeper blue sky over the city of Portland from our Rose City camera. We are at 61. So with the added sun, when compared to the last couple of days, we'll be warmer. 70 at noon. I have us getting up to 80 degrees. At this point, the rain we've been talking about for overnight tonight into tomorrow morning is likely. So we have an impact alert up for a wet commute tomorrow morning, drier in the afternoon, and then some heat to start next week.
A fireworks show in Japan turned into a little too explosive last night when 2 launch barges caught fire mid-festival. So the fireworks you see here raining down on the barges, sparking a fiery mess. 5 workers jumped into the water to escape. 1 had minor injuries but is okay. Event organizers had planned to launch about 20,000 fireworks in 25 minutes as part of this festival, but yeah, it fizzled out pretty fast.
Can I request an explosive start to our 8:30 half-hour chime?
Good morning.
There you go.
We're not in July anymore.
Remember we used to sponsor the, we broadcasted it live, the fireworks show out in Fort Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I got to MC that a handful of years. And there was one, but there was one time, I can't remember who I was working with that year. And the grass on the field back behind where people are sitting, where they're putting out the fireworks, is clearly burning.
Oh.
And there's that period where you're like, is that supposed to be on fire?
Right.
Back
Part of the
there?
show.
And then, of course, they had to stop the show and get some water out there. Nobody got hurt or anything. But it was
The realization set in.
Oh my
That's not
goodness.
supposed to be happening right
That's right,
Playing
but
with
it's
fire.
not-
Remember we were taught that as kids, right?
Yeah, don't do that.
It's also not supposed to rain in August, Rob, but we're going to get some tomorrow.
Certainly not the first half of August. And you know what? The rain that we typically do get in August, I think this is correct, comes from convective activity, like scattered thunderstorms, for example. It's pretty rare, firstly, especially through the first 10 days, that we get a system coming in off the Pacific to give us rain. And we think that happens overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, today it's great. Everybody's dry. There's no thunderstorm chance anywhere in the state of Oregon today. And even at the coast, starting off with beautiful sunshine. Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City sitting at 54 degrees. Downtown Portland, and we're going to have beautiful sunshine into the afternoon hours, 61. I have a 70 at noon, and then some increasing cloudiness later today ahead of tomorrow's rain. We get up to about 80 degrees. I mentioned no storm threat out east, so beautiful sunshine and comfortable weather. Even Pelton's only in the mid-80s today. The Dow's the same. Madras the same. Low 80s in Salem and Albany. 60s generally at the coast. Our 7-day forecast, 80 today. The impact alert tomorrow morning, because it looks like most of tomorrow's rain is early through mid-morning. So that's commute time. So fingers crossed that doesn't turn out to be a mess. 73 the high. Dry on Thursday, 70s. Mid-80s on Friday, Saturday, and then what could be the first stretch that goes beyond 2 days in a row of 90-plus degree temperatures. And some of the modeling has been hinting that we could have 1 or 2 100-degree days, including maybe Monday of next week, so impact alert up for that hot weather as well. Here's Chris.
Back to backers. All right, let's go ahead and get you out the door right now. A quick check of the drive near Capitol Highway, I-5 northbound, puttering along. Another place where you come up over the hill and then the sun is right in your face, right? Not that that's the entire reason for the slowing. There's plenty of people on the roads there. But right now, the drive-in from Wilsonville is one of our biggest slow spots. 42 minutes now to get you from the Boone Bridge north to the Markham Bridge. I-84 westbound's a little tight as well. And so's the east side. This is 205 over in the Lentz neighborhood. Near Foster. You can see that northbound commute puttering along at about 25 miles an hour. And then as those cars get onto the Banfield, westbound 84, of course, running pretty tight as well. Heads up on the west side, Oregon 127. That's Cornelius Pass Road. They're doing chip seal today. What does that mean? That means we're down to 1 alternating lane for a 2-mile stretch of the road north of Germantown Road. So expect some significant delays on Cornelius Pass Road throughout the day today, guys.
All right, thank you, Chris. A Washington County Sheriff's deputy who was shot while serving an eviction notice at a local apartment complex is suing the owners of that complex for over $20 million.
The lawsuit claims that the owners were negligent, saying that the complex should have done more to let law enforcement know what they were walking into. Alma McCarty has a story.
On July 26, 2023, patrol cars descended on the apartment building. First responders brought in a helicopter to rush Washington County Civil Deputy Charles Doze to Emmanuel Hospital in critical condition.
The day that I won't soon forget.
He'd spend 2 weeks there after he was shot 7 times. including twice in the head, causing him to lose his left eye and multiple teeth. His daughter spoke with KGW before he was released.
I trust his skills and I trust his knowledge and I trust his abilities. But of course, just being in this line of duty, you do have fear that you have to work through.
Deputy Doze was serving an eviction notice to a 34-year-old named Chris Graves. He told KGW last year this was a routine assignment.
Our day consists of serving subpoenas, restraining orders, orders of assistance, restraining order move-outs, and also evictions.
But this would turn out to be a life-changing call as the tenant started shooting after deputies broke down the door.
There was nothing in the paperwork that showed that there was any sort of risk.
A new $23 million lawsuit filed almost 2 years to the day after the shooting claims the apartment owners and the people managing it were negligent.
My dad was the first one in and immediately got shot. Like, how do you then prepare for that?
The lawsuit claims not only did the apartment owners and managers fail to take steps to de-escalate the situation in the months leading up to the eviction, they allegedly did not let Deputy Doze know the tenant might pose a danger to himself or others. Documents detail how Graves stopped paying rent that spring and was uncooperative with property management, and how he covered the windows and was heard screaming by other tenants in the middle of the night. After this several-hour standoff, a SWAT team found the suspect dead inside the apartment.
Again, that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this morning. The sheriff's office says Doze remains on leave. We also reached out to the various defendants named in this lawsuit, but only Pacific Urban Investors, a real estate investment business, responded to us saying that they do not comment on pending litigation.
Portland police and fire investigating a suspected arson at a playground outside a local nonprofit. Investigators say someone intentionally set fire to this playground Sunday morning at Cairo Academy on Southeast 139th and Stark. Cairo serves immigrant, refugee, and low-income families and had just finished building the structure. Investigators are looking into if this was a bias crime.
A Salem man was sentenced to more than 8 years in prison after using what authorities say was a fake explosives vest. You see it right here, to rob multiple businesses. Prosecutors say Nicholas Contreras Samion hit 2 Woodburn grocery stores earlier this year, demanding money while showing workers that he was wearing this vest. It looked like there was dynamite strapped to it. Prosecutors say at one point he also hit a button that activated red flashing lights on the vest. Later, a bomb squad determined that the vest did not actually contain explosives.
Listen to this. A former Fred Meyer employee was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison after stealing more than $60,000 from the store. In May, 44-year-old Rainbow Melody Stammet, right there of Oregon City, pleaded guilty to charges including aggravated theft. In March of 2023, she had worked at Fred Meyer for about 2 years when the retailer's loss prevention office noticed her taking cash from a self-checkout station. She told Oregon City Police that she stole the money to support her gambling habit. She is now required to repay Fred Meyer for the money she stole.
Alaska Airlines up and away, adding 7 new routes here in the West. Those routes include nonstop flights between the Hollywood Burbank Airport and both Eugene and Redmond. Those routes, by the way, set to begin in late October. Other notable additions for the region include a flight from Boise to Ontario, California, another one from Pasco in the Tri-Cities area over to Burbank, and one from Spokane to Orange County.
Your time now is 8:38. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at traffic.
Red on the traffic map, and there it is. Yeah, I-5 northbound. That's our biggest slow spot now from the Boone Bridge in Wilsonville north of the Markham. We're averaging about 45 minutes. Let's show you some of the slow spots. First off, we'll pick it up on the west side. Of course, we've got the sun right in the driver's eye on the sunset, so slow and go creeping over the Sylvan Hill. That's door number 1. Door number 2, I think, takes us down to Tualatin. Yeah, there's your I-5 drive, working your way up past the 205 interchange. So all 3 lanes there, puttering along at about 15 miles an hour. And then we bring you a little farther north. Let's try that again, up towards Capitol Highway. Door number 3 shows that drive really slow into the Twilliger curve. So that's one of our big slow spots right now. The drive out of Clark County is improving, and this is a little misleading because now the end of the line has worked its way over the interstate bridge. But once you cross the bridge, we're looking at about 22 minutes bridge to bridge from the interstate to the Fremont. Shauna.
Thank you, Chris. What is dope swallowing? Next on Sunrise, we'll take a closer look at how people claiming to have swallowed drugs in an effort to avoid going to jail and why it's keeping police officers off the streets.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, we head to a homeless day center in Southeast Portland, one that Mayor Keith Wilson touted as a success throughout his campaign. Well, now that center may have to close after not getting the money they expected from the city. Watch the story tonight live at 6:30 on KGW or anytime on our TV app, KGW Plus. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We want to share a KGW investigation into a growing problem that's pulling police officers off the streets, all because a suspect claims they've swallowed drugs.
It's now being called dope swallowing. And as investigative reporter Colin Boshi found, it has some officers waiting with suspects in the ER for hours.
11 a.m., April 29th. Portland police, along with specially trained CERT officers, execute a search warrant in Northeast Portland. During an hours-long sweep of the property,
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Don't move.
they discover a woman in a camper.
Who else is in here? Just me.
Hiding beneath a mattress.
Stand up slowly. I'm gonna try to help you out, okay?
Okay.
The woman is taken into custody.
Come on out.
An officer explains she's going to jail on an outstanding warrant, when suddenly the woman claims she swallowed drugs, fentanyl.
You have anything that's gonna hurt me, stick me, or poke me?
No.
Okay.
I just swallowed some fentanyl.
Oh, you did? Okay.
The woman, who's been hiding for the past 3 hours, shows no sign of drug use and has no answers.
How long ago did you swallow the fenny?
What?
How do you not know?
Despite her questionable claim, police have no choice. They'll take her to the hospital.
We're gonna go through the trials and tribulations of you going to the hospital. So we don't want to see you get hurt.
For the next 6 hours, a Portland police officer will stay with the woman, follow medics to the hospital, and accompany her to the emergency room. They'll be tied up with this one suspect who claims to have swallowed drugs for almost an entire shift until she's evaluated and cleared by doctors, then sent to jail.
Frustrating?
Extremely frustrating.
Police call it dope swallowing.
Once they figure out they're going to jail, they will tell you, I swallowed dope. Sometimes they'll be specific, heroin, fentanyl, meth, whatever, but they'll usually just say that they swallowed dope.
Officer Rob Brown has seen it too many times to count.
Most of the time the motivation is not to go to jail. What they're hoping for is me to decide I'm not going to waste my time and either give them a ticket or just straight cut them loose and let them go.
Law enforcement doesn't track dope swallowing cases, but police agencies around the Portland metro area admit it's a problem they've been dealing with for years, as word is spread among criminals.
It's very common for this to happen.
That's a massive resource suck.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Bogus claims of dope swallowing keep officers off the street and divert resources away from real emergencies.
There's community members who are calling 911 or calling non-emergency asking for our assistance, and we've got part of our resources are just stuck essentially babysitting somebody.
The community is suffering because either people swallowing drugs or saying they're swallowing drugs and they actually haven't.
We're literally sitting in a chair in the hospital room. There's nothing that we can do as far as, enforcement action, law enforcement action.
Police explain they can't ignore someone claiming they ingested drugs. Even if it's fishy, it must be treated as a medical emergency.
This all boils down to liability.
In 2018, a work group made up of Multnomah County prosecutors, police, and doctors created a plan to address dope swallowing, including dedicated hospital space and an officer to monitor those who claim to have ingested narcotics. But that plan was derailed due to the pandemic. The work group also created this form, warning suspects who falsely claim to have ingested narcotics that they're diverting resources from people who really need it, and they could face additional charges, including felony theft of services, escape, initiating a false report, and even federal Medicaid fraud. Meanwhile, elsewhere,
penalty for false statement during drug arrest by Representative Ivory.
Last year, state lawmakers in Utah created stiffer penalties for those who lie about ingesting drugs when they're being arrested.
Creates all kinds of time and expense for law enforcement, medical professionals, and it creates a separate penalty for doing that.
The Utah lawmaker behind the legislation claims it's working. For now, police in Oregon are tackling this problem by simply waiting it out when resources are available.
That trick's gone way by a long time ago. You're not getting freed up for it.
Instead of writing a ticket or cutting them loose, officers will wait with a suspect for as long as it takes to make sure they end up in jail. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
If you have a story idea for Kyle to investigate or a problem you want him to highlight, you can reach out anytime at our number there on your screen, 503-226-5088. You can also email callkyle@kgw.com.
I've got a story for you right now. It starts out in Sherwood, with the Chehalem Tasting Room Skycam. You see it right there. The story will end, I'll just jump to the end. It ends with a 7-day forecast, but in between, that's the good stuff. That's where Rod Hill forecasts what's going to happen over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours.
We have rain. I mean, at this point, it's absolutely likely that we have a somewhat rainy commute tomorrow morning, which again, if it's January, it's not a story, but we are statistically in the driest part of our year, so you wouldn't expect it. Right. It looks like we're going to get it. We begin with our Futurecast model, and I'll show you the timeline. The model updated about an hour or so ago. There's no storm chance out east today, by the way. You folks are just all dry, mostly sunny skies, beautiful weather. This is going to show increasing cloudiness ahead of the rain coming in, especially along the coast and up into Longview at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then the clouds build this evening. And then the rain comes in early tomorrow morning through mid-morning is when we get almost all of it. So this is the latest. This model will update again between now and when I do the noon show today. So I'm anxious to see what the next one shows. But at 5 o'clock this morning, tomorrow morning rather, this shows fairly widespread steady rain, the coast and then near Portland up to the north. And then into the mid-morning hours, those scattered shower activity builds down through Salem and down into Eugene. And then once we get, let's see here, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. This is kind of the last wave of significant rain. And then the afternoon tomorrow has a lingering scattered shower chance, but not much. Again, most of what we're going to get is that early through mid-morning hour tomorrow. What's interesting is every single weather model is biting on us getting more than 1/10 of an inch of rain, which would be a lot for this time of the year. It doesn't sound like much, but it would be. This particular model, and there are some that are wetter, there are some that are drier, so I feel like this model is kind of in the middle. Lincoln City, 37/100 of an inch. A range in the Willamette Valley from generally 1/10 to about 2/10 of an inch of rain. Pretty good rain up around Mount Hood and pretty good rain coming through the Columbia River Gorge. Nothing stormy, just rain. And if we could get a couple tenths of an inch of rain, that's enough to soak into the soil a little bit and really be somewhat beneficial. All right, so that's coming up for your morning commute tomorrow. Today, right now, gorgeous Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, 55 degrees there. Here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Lowell, which is mainly clear, it looks like, 61. This will be the sunniest day we've had over the last few, and because of that, we'll be warming up. 58 in Salem right now, 60 up in Seattle, 61 out in Pilton, 54 in Baker City. Not much of a temperature variance really across our two states. Valley forecast numbers, 83 in Salem, partly to mostly sunny, evening clouds coming in, light winds, really nice day. Southwest Washington, similar. Longview 79, Battleground Vancouver 80, evening clouds coming in. And then you wake up tomorrow morning and there's going to be rain out there. So 80 right now. Impact alert for what we think could be a slowing wet commute tomorrow. The afternoon's fairly dry, 73 the high. Thursday we're dry, 70s, 84 on Friday. And then Sunday could be day one of what could be like a 4-day run of 90+ degree temperatures. We haven't had that yet this year. We've only been back-to-back 90s, and we haven't been up to 100 either. And that's at least a possibility we're looking at for Monday, maybe even Tuesday of next week. And that is your forecast. A reminder that we love to celebrate birthdays with you, so send us your birthday photos, name, and yes, we like to know your age because that's the kind of folks we are. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we'll celebrate with you. Some people go ish, Chris, and that's okay. Ish.
We let them slide.
Yeah.
All right, we pick it up with a traffic alert on the west side. Heads up right there and there. You can see that ODOT and looks like OSP dealing with a vehicle fire right now on the inbound Sunset. So for perspective, this is from 217. We're looking west. This is the westbound commute, some looky-loo action here that's slowing it down, but the eastbound drive is slowing down with all 3 lanes blocked right now because, again, of that vehicle fire. It's tough to see, but it looks like they've got that mostly put out. I don't see any more smoke there, but you can see the police that have that cordoned off at this point, and I can go out just a little bit farther west and show you that that lineup on the inbound Sunset is now stacked up and stacking up quickly out Murray Boulevard past almost out to Bethany. So just be aware of this. You might want to skip that right now. The inbound Sunset's up to 30 minutes and building quickly. We'll keep you posted.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Here's a look at our top stories from this morning. A Washington County deputy who was shot 7 times while attempting to evict a tenant is suing the apartment complex where it happened for $23 million. Deputy Charles Doze says the property managers were negligent, failing to warn deputies that the tenant was dangerous. Doze lost an eye and spent several weeks in the hospital. The suspect later died in a standoff. Police arrested a certified nursing assistant for allegedly stealing a patient's credit card and then using it on a shopping spree. A grand jury indicted Jeanette Collins on multiple charges, including criminal mistreatment and identity theft. Police say Collins worked at OHSU's Hillsborough Medical Center. It's primary election day in the state of Washington. That means our viewers in Southwest Washington need to have their ballots postmarked by today or place them in a ballot drop box by 8 o'clock tonight in order to count. For more information about what's on your ballot, check out your local county website.
Yeah, my ballot's in. Did that last week. Put it in the mail. Free to mail it. I love that. It's one of the free things in life. Futurecast movie does show that we are absolutely dry out there today with no storm chance at all. But we have the rain coming in overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and our 7-day forecast does show that. Should be going to the 7-day. Maybe it's not going to click. It's not going to click.
Man. Did you try it? Go like it.
Today's high, by the way, 80 degrees expected. 80. Oh, there it goes.
Yep,
80
snap.
Today. The impact alert for the wet commute tomorrow morning, and then we're tracking that heat wave on Sunday into Monday. That was almost
fun.
Rocky final forecast.
All right, hey guys, let's pick it up on the west side. We got a big traffic alert now on the inbound Sunset. Highway 26 eastbound is being diverted off the freeway at Cedar Hills Boulevard. That is the camera that's on the upper right-hand part of your screen. In the upper left-hand part of your screen, you can't quite make it out past that pedestrian bridge, but it looks like there's either a vehicle fire or something where firefighters, rescue personnel are actively working on that situation. I can't tell exactly what's going on. Again, the initial report came in as a vehicle fire, but right now the backup is to Murray Boulevard on the left-hand side of your screen, and now it's quickly building out past Bethany Boulevard. We'll keep it posted. Highway 26 closed right now eastbound at Cedar Hills Boulevard.
We'll probably have more on that on KGW News at noon. We have one last story for you here, though. Goose, a 5-foot-long water monitor lizard, has been found. The lizard leaped out of its owner's window, Massachusetts, more than 2 weeks ago, and it was finally captured over this past weekend. Officials say search efforts was like looking for a criminal. Eventually, they found Goose, who had been hiding under a tree root. They say he didn't really want to come out, even for hard-boiled eggs. But some pieces of chicken finally lured the lizard out.
Well, I'd be the same.
They still look like they're from prehistoric times, right?
You'd come out for chicken.
I'd come out for chicken, not a boiled egg. I'm 5'4", so that thing's about the same size I am, for crying out loud.
Yes, they should rename it Rod. Get rid of Goose and name it Rod.
Why not?
Hey, this is the Sunrise Show. That's what we call it. Every weekday morning, you can check us out right here on KGW Plus, starting at 5 a.m. all the way till 9 a.m.